All right, today we're going over exactly what I do during the holidays to make sure I don't become a big fat mess and actually able to lose fat while everybody else is working on their third chin and hiding their disappointment in their gray Walmart sweats. So let's get after it. Pay no attention to the year being off. That's because fuck you, Target. Let's face it, there's a few times a year where you're pretty much guaranteed to chub up. First up, Halloween. It starts a few days before because you got 10 pounds of candy sitting there looking at you, tempting you to ruin your life. And then if there's any kids in your family, you're screwed a few days after because those little idiots will leave their bags of candy around like you're not gonna go through and steal all the good shit. Next, Thanksgiving. No explanation needed. You're gonna eat like an asshole on that day, and then until you run out of leftovers. Finally, one that sneaks up on a lot of people, a full week of disappointment you could look forward to from Christmas all the way to New Year's. So it ends up being about 3 weeks where your diet can go completely to hell. So to make sure that doesn't happen and actually continue to make progress, I do a version of intermittent fasting, but I do it in a very specific way to make sure I maximize the results. My eating window isn't a window, it's a meal. Some people like to call it OMAD. For some reason, I think the abbreviation sounds ridiculous, so I call it 1 meal a day, and I have that meal an hour and a half before I go to bed, because if you've ever tried to go to bed starving, good fucking luck. You're gonna end up staring at the ceiling and trying to hold your breath until you pass out. Now that meal should be fairly clean. Good source of protein, high quality carbohydrates, good healthy fats. But the good news is, it doesn't have to be small. I'll usually have a block of Beyond Meat, 4 pounds of potatoes, and then after they're done cooking, either drizzle it with extra virgin olive oil or macadamia nut oil. And the good thing about eating like this during those weeks is you know there's gonna be days where your diet completely falls apart. Thanksgiving, obviously, Christmas Eve, Halloween night when you're laying on your stomach eating your kid's candy like a giant toddler. Just know whatever crap you're eating, that's your meal for the night. That's all you get. Wake up the next morning, you're back to fasting. It just mitigates the damage. Couple quick notes. As you're doing this, your only focus is maintaining muscle mass, but more than anything, staying lean, if not getting a little bit leaner. But that doesn't mean you can half-ass your workouts. In fact, if you train high volume, you're gonna find you got a hell of a lot of energy when you fast. The second question that's gonna come up is when should you train? Now, I like to train first thing in the morning because you have all those carbs stored up from the night before, so you have an incredible pump during your workout. I've also seen the best results doing that way. The only issue is you gotta suffer through that starvation the rest of the day. And finally, I'm not as strict as I would normally be on a fast. I still have my black coffee in the morning, I have my BCAAs throughout the day, and I still drink my pre-workout even though it's got some shit in it, but not enough to really make a difference. At the end of the day, is this for everyone? No, because if everybody does it, who's gonna buy those gray dad-bod sweatpants from Walmart? If you're sitting there thinking, why don't you tell us about this before Thanksgiving, asshole? You're right, fucked up. Good news is, I do the same thing when I go on vacation, so there you go. If you haven't got a chance to check out the 30-day programs, I'll link them below. Again, both of them, 30 days, 20 videos, 20 bucks. Pretty damn simple. Also, if you haven't watched these, I'd watch those next, but most importantly, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and get after it, get growing. Talk to you soon.